Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Coffees with James. I'm James, and welcome to the show that should have been on a different channel, but you gotta watch this on my main channel because nobody's watching that on my other channel, which, by the way, please subscribe to that other channel. It's at Morning Coffees with James. I'll put a link in the description and below so you can click to it. I would really appreciate that. I'm also starting a I have started a BitChute channel. It's just slowly starting to get together. I mean, BitChute right now, it's kind of like in its infant stage, kind of like the same way ThemeTube used to be. I'm calling them ThemeTube because it's not YouTube anymore. It's ThemeTube. They don't care about you. They care about themselves, and their profit. And I'm talking about profit like this. Not profit as in anyhow. Also, what's another thing? Oh, check me out on YouTube. It's Conley Bros Production. Both are Conley Bros Productions works. So, and by the way, if you want to try to subscribe to BitChute, go to your app store and type in BitSlide. That's where you can find me. BitChute's going to be a bigger thing than YouTube, and I want it to be a bigger thing. Right now, it doesn't have like the entertaining stuff that it does, but hopefully there's people on that website that can be, let's just say, a little Jack Sparrow and give us the quality content that we need to help balance everything out. But yeah, you can go also find me on YouTube. I am, however, going to be quitting Facebook in a couple of months, in a couple of years, next year, hopefully, or just opening up a new one and just being sneaky. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you my plans. Maybe I just might leave it in general because, let's be honest, Facebook's very toxic. I love Instagram, don't get me wrong, because it's just nothing but pictures, and I like Parler's pretty nice too. I'm on Parler too. I might have to sprucing it up so you can find me proper on that. I'm more right now on Facebook. I'm just spreading like other people's content and fighting off other people too. So yeah. So what do we want to talk about today? Well, let's talk about two wars that we're fighting. They're very cold. One's heating up, and the other one has been cold for a while. We've been fighting two wars on two fronts. A civil war here, a cold civil war here against the imaginary Nazis and the imaginary white supremacists that are sneaking in the woods somewhere, and they're going to bust out somewhere, and they could be your neighbors, they could be hiding in the mailbox, they could be even in your own head. But truth is we're fighting, radical Democrats and radical leftists and communists who think socialism is a better system than capitalism and democracy, and believe state is the God. The state is God, which is not. And we are fighting Russia. It's not Russia, excuse me. That was the old Cold War. This is the new Cold War. We are fighting China. We are fighting communist China. And honestly, it scares me a little bit. Because if you've heard in the news recently, we've been infiltrated, including the UK, we've been infiltrated by Chinese spies. Now, there's many of things that people want to address and clear up. It's like, oh no, it's just like they were just coming over. No. One of the most recent ones, I forget which mayor it was. I may have to look that up because I forget. I know her name. It's Fing Fang. Fang Fang Spy. I'm sorry, Marky Rubio. Right, who is the Eric Swalwell? Swalwell, really Swalwell? And you know what's something? He got a little bit of that yellow fever. I'm not trying to insult, Asian people. I think, let's be honest, the Asian community of women are pretty hot. Let's be honest, they are. Like Bei Ling from I forget what movie she was in, but damn, Bei Ling, Kelly Wu, Lucy Liu. Asian women are beautiful. All women are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but there's something special about Asian women. Asian. How do women feel about Asian men? Same thing or no? Okay, never mind. Men are pigs, by the way. So, do I have to keep that hammered in your head? So Fang Fang, that's her name. That's her name. I'm not making up, like, I'm not trying to insult her by calling her that. Like, no, that is her name. Her name is Fang Fang. Like, you know, you can't make this shit up. Her name is Fang Fang, and basically she infiltrated Eric Swalwell and basically, let's just say, caught him in some compromising, like, blackmailing photos, sexually, actually. And most, like, it's not just like that. There's also, like, other people too that have been compromised by, you know, the Chinese, the CCC, the CC, Chinese Communist, CCP spies. You know, not just, you know, they're everywhere right about now. So the Chinese Communist Party, there's been spies everywhere, not just with, you know, Eric Swalwell, but like with other people in higher positions. I think Maxine Waters, or I think it's Maxine Waters or Nancy Pelosi. One of her drivers was a spy. Sorry, I have to be quiet. I'm living with the leftist, radical one. You know, the CCP. Let's see, who else was a spy? But there's plenty of spies in Washington, and that's the thing. We are in a Cold War right about now. The problem is that we're not acknowledging it, because President-elect, I'm just going to put that quote up there, President-elect, because I don't think the algorithm can show sarcasm or detect sarcasm or people quoting, because I can't say the words Mehmet. If you got that translation down, because I can't say the words election and fraud. Which, by the way, let's be honest about big tech censorship, and also TikTok too. TikTok is owned by the Communist Chinese, so yeah, they've been infiltrating us for a while. Then you've got, you know, Mark Zuckerberg. I believe most of these people are pretty much communist traitors, you know. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, I'm trying to think who else, like, of the other big tech companies. Even Jeff Bezos, you know. It's all about this. And even, let's be honest, about fucking Hollywood. Which I'll talk about Tom Cruise and his epic rant for the moment, because I want to talk about that. But in a later video. So, one of the things that scares me about the Chinese communist thing is basically how it's being treated, how it's being, how this is being treated. It's the fact that we're not taking this seriously. I mean, remember, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The Cold War was was a scary time for everybody. Nukes, you had, you know, war, threats of war, like hot war. You had, you know, people panicking. You know, you had. You know, and also people kind of speaking out against it, like, oh, the Russians are not our enemies and all this. And then, you know, the movie that has now become my favorite movie, Matinee, there's a character in the movie, one of the main characters' love interest, is kind of a hippie chick, a beatnik, and she's speaking about, well, the Russians are not, they're just pushing up the Russians to be our enemies, and it's like, this is nonsense and bullshit. Yes and no, but if you think about it, communism is just, everybody wants to rule the world. Every mad lad wants to rule the world. Alright? And communist Russia was no different back in the day. Like, they wanted to rule the world, and they want to infiltrate us. And I'm going to be honest, and even speaking in, like, Indiana, like, yeah, the Red Scare was real, but to be honest with you, you know, nowadays we don't talk about that because, you know, and this is something I've noticed too with, like, these leftists, you know, they're treating the COVID scare as another 9/11. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that for a fact. It's like people are like, oh, how could you? People are dying out there, and there's a deadly disease out there. It's like, I believe it's deadly, yes, but I want to do the mask trick to show you something, because it's just like it seems like people have not learned or not understand history. Back in the day, do you know what was the best of, like, imagine you're a kid back in high school. back in the 1950s to the 1960s, like early 60s, before everything went hippy-dippy psychedelic. Remember back in the day, if anybody is a boomer, back in that day, if you were in school and there was a nuke coming down, the bomb drills were basically this: either hide under your desk with your hands above your head and crouch down like that, or go into the hallway and do the same thing. Bombs don't care where you're hiding. They didn't hide in bomb shelters. They didn't hide in little basement areas, little safe shelters away from nuclear radiation. It's not like Fallout where you had to go to a fallout shelter, a vault, because Vault-Tec didn't exist. You had to hide under a piece of wood or just in the hallway of a school, which would have been blown up by a fucking nuclear fuck bomb. And people thought that was their safety thing. Duck and cover. Duck and cover and kiss your ass goodbye. They did the same thing back in when I used to go to high school for tornado warnings. And you know what? I kind of believed it. I was like, alright, this is going to protect me. Truth be told, tornadoes don't give a shit about your little fucking building. It ain't secure. Sorry, Chachi, you're going to die. And then we have the masks, which is the same fucking thing. If I put a cloth over my face, I can protect myself. If I fucking, cover my face, and, people yell at you if you do this, by the way, have your nose exposed. It's like, but nobody wants to talk about being in, and everybody will just step and fetch in line if there's a terrorist attack or if there's a biological, disease that can go through your goddamn mask, that can go into your eyes, into your ears, up your ass, up your dick or vagina, whatever one you have, and infect you. And you think a little piece of cloth is going to protect you from deadly germs. Well, it's like the peeing of the. It's like if you were naked and somebody else is naked and they peed on you. It's like that's not the same fucking thing. You just have a guy who's just peeing on everybody, who just has a problem peeing on everybody. All right, that's not going to protect you from everything else. All right, which by the way, you can wash off pee. That's urine. That's not a fucking virus. These people will make up any excuse to try to push this. Well, it's like. And by the way, viruses don't care how far away you are. They're gonna infect you no matter what. They're not gonna give a shit. Which, by the way, I'm gonna mention this again. Tom Wolfe, 2 days before he locked down the gyms, schools, and fucking restaurants, because fuck you, I don't care about your business, Tom Wolfe, and every Democratic out there, because we want the big businesses to go in. We want big corporations to come in. Which, by the way, isn't fucking LA Fitness a big corporation? I'm gonna open. I'm gonna start putting up a Patreon, maybe a Patreon or a GoFundMe. I'm gonna open up my own gym, and we're not gonna follow the lockdown. How about that? No masks. Just wipe down the machine. Don't steal shit and be nice. I would open my own gym. I would call it Jim's Gym, or James's Gym, something on that matter. But one of the things that just irritates me, though, it's like people are going to be or freaking out at you if you don't wear your mask. They're going to shame you. They're going to call you a fucking evil person for not wearing a mask, or a terrorist, which by the way, everybody has fucking used that word. Same way as fucking everything else. Racist, homophobic, terrorist now. It's just meaningless, insult words. Well, you know what? Fuck you. I was named after a fucking Irish terrorist, you fuck. James Connolly. Look him up. History books. Which, by the way, the British Army strapped him to a chair and shot him. But I'll talk about that in another video, because I think I'm going a little long on this one. No, I'm going to talk a little further, because, I can edit this. The long version is going to be on YouTube and BitChute, so hopefully BitChute if I can get the video up. This is the same fucking problem with... This is what's going on. You know what I mean? People are so engaged in just following, and we're gonna be safe, and if I take the vaccine that might mutate me or give me HIV, which I've heard has it. Don't give me this bullshit that it doesn't, and it's like, oh, you're just hearing propaganda from, the smaller guys who want to control us. These smaller people, you gotta trust the bigger people. They know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, but this is the fucking problem I have with, with people stepping in line from, CNN, MSNBC, and all the big guys. They're lying to you. You don't think they're gonna not lie to you? These are the same people who said that there was WMDs in fucking Iran. We only went in there just to get out fucking Saddam Hussein and fuck up the Middle East even further. These are the same people who've lied to you so many fucking times that you're just gonna fucking follow it? And then there's these little small individual guys. Tim Pool. If anybody's listened to Tim Pool, I like Tim Pool. Sometimes he's a little black-pilled, a little bit too much, a little bit of a liberal, which is not bad, but it's just like, sometimes it's just like, well, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to agree with you? I'm Tim Pool. I wear a beanie on my head because I'm balding. I really do think he just has no brain. He has no skull up there, and he has an exposed brain. It's just like in a glass jar, and he's an alien. Beware, I talk like this because it's how I talk on my home planet. Humans, I'm gonna go skateboard now. But no, I also like Razor Fist. I think Razor Fist is a little bit more educated when it comes to politics. But one thing I will say though, it is a scare tactic. It's like people kind of forgot, like there's, you had Russia, you had the Russia scare, but which, by the way, speaking about election meddling, Russia. Remember when the Russia thing was big? Russia, it's Russia's fault. We gotta go after Russia. Where's that now? What happened to that? Oh, well, we have no meddling in Russia. They just started, we're not gonna fuck around with that. We're not gonna fuck around with that. Oh, our integrity is good. Our integrity is good here now. The elections are fine now. No. I'm sorry, but do you know why they keep calling him Beijing Biden? Because his son, who is a fucking pedophile and a fucking son of a bitch, who's making deals with them and Ukraine. But back onto and he's a fucking traitor. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are traitors, along with his fucked up son. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know much about Trump's family, but they seem like good people. And I think the problem is that we've been beaten by the image of rich people and their spoiled kids. That we have, that's like the image we get. But then we see somebody else's kids and we're like, shit, maybe we're wrong about this. You know what I mean? Maybe we typecast people way too much in this country. I'm going on a little further, but this is the thing I'm worried about. But back onto the, communist thing, it's like, they're scaring us into fucking complying. You know what I mean? Where they're scaring us, they're pushing us into this fucking hole that, we're never going to get out of, Oh, well, everything's going to go back to normal once we flatten the curve. Oh, well, we can't flatten the curve. We have to get the cure. Oh, wait, well, everybody has to take the vaccine. Well, no, we still have to do more of these things. Like, no! How about this? How about you vaccinate a few people? In fact, like I said before, give me the COVID. I'll just take the fucking virus into my body, deal with it for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be okay. And I know people are out there like scared. I'm not. This is not nuclear radiation. Oh, I want to mention the Facebook post I saw. It was, I think it was Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and just a picture of the COVID virus. And it was, December 11th, 1947. September 9th, 2001. No, September 11th. I'm an asshole. September 11th, 2001. Just a regular Wednesday for the last one for COVID. It was like, yeah, because nobody knew, there was no, D-Day, okay? I'm sorry, but, oh, well, people will die, and we need to shut down we gotta destroy our economy, destroy businesses, and destroy America to save lives. It's like, motherfucker, lives have been lost due to saving America, okay? Businesses don't need to suffer because a politician said so. And that your feelings matter. No, fuck your feelings. I'm so tired of hearing, like, facts don't give a fuck about your feelings, okay? People are gonna die. Oh, we gotta protect the elderly and the weak and all this. We gotta save them. It's like, if that's the case, then why don't you hang out with them? Why don't you live with them and protect them with your little BB gun and your little mask on, and, you know, cover yourself in fucking, be like Frank from fucking, what's that fuck? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when he shaved all his hair and he covered himself in fucking, like, hand sanitizer. Because that's what you look like to me. That's what you look like to me. I just want to be pure. Oh my God. And people need us, like, this is the problem I have with this. This is the problem I have with fucking people nowadays. You know, oh, well, you just want to save the economy, you rich, greedy people. And it's like, yes. You know, fine, I am greedy because I live at home. I'm tired of fucking dealing, you know, not succeeding and not owning anything. I don't own a car. They do. I borrow it, and it's a piece of shit, broken down crap that I wish I could just take out into the middle of a field, stick a rag in it, stick the rag in the gas tank, light it on fire, and walk away like a fucking badass. And just buy a new car. But I couldn't. I couldn't save up any more money because we have the fucking holiday season coming up. I have to buy more weights because, God forbid, you close down the gyms because Tom Wolf is a fucking cunt. And he's always going to be a fucking cunt. And in the next fucking election season, vote that motherfucker out. And do not vote for a Democrat. And if the fucking politician is a fucking rhino, I'm not voting for him. Fuck him too. We need someone who isn't a fuck boy. We need a fuck man. We need a sex man. We need a hardcore motherfucker in there. A real man. And not Tom Wolf, who looks like he's who looks like he just, like, gets pegged by his wife every day at 4 o'clock p.m. on the dot. And I can go on rants about the fucking, you know, Democratic leaders, Cuomo and his sexual assault bullshit. You know, hey, I'm a gangster. I'm a king of fucking, I'm the king of New York. I'm royalty. Hey, what are you gonna do about it? You ever seen Godfather? You ain't protected. Here's a bunch of oranges. You know. Oh, you can't threaten politicians. Well, why are they threatening me? And I'm hoping he's okay. I'm not gonna threaten. I'm not threatening him. I'm just saying he needs to have some oranges. You know. Then again, you know, let some other maniac do that. Let some other whack job do that. Which, by the way, nobody ever wants to talk about the whack jobs from the left that were trying to assassinate Republican leaders, or, you know, they want to talk about any of the no, they don't want to talk about that. Or the fact that Maxine Waters posted out threats and stuff like that. These people need to be locked up. These are the real threat to America. I don't care if you're a Democrat or not, you believe in these people, or they're the same skin color that you are, or they believe in this, or they have fucking dogs. Which, by the way, I don't care if Joe Biden has an adopted German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd, too. Great dog. I don't give a fuck. You could be a fan of fucking Nintendo for all I give a shit. It still makes you a fucking asshole. You could be a Fallout New Vegas fan, and I can just say to you, shut the fuck up. New Vegas is okay. I like Fallout 4 a little bit better. That'll piss off the fanboys. I think I've talked long enough, but my whole point is that we need to realize that we're in a war. 2 wars, to be exact. The culture war, you know, the cold civil war that we're having right now that's heating up. It's hot, but it's lukewarm right about now. And the Cold War against China. We need to wake up to this, America. Be proud of who you are as Americans and tell the Chinese to go fuck themselves. Excuse me, not just regular Chinese people. I'm talking about the CCP. The Chinese Communist Party. Their government. Tell their government to fuck off. Not the people. Not the people who came here away from that shit. I'm talking about the people who are still loyalists to those fucking countries. Not the people who came over here and going, America #1. Sorry for that crude, you know, imitation of a fucking Chinese man talking. You know, but then again, I will say this. Don't trust China. China asshole. Look that up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, love you, bye-bye, and remember to stay awesome. And also, CCP, go fuck yourself, along with your fucking communist friends over here. So, yeah. See you later.